What's up guys, it's Tephrite here. In this video, I'm going to be going through a top 500 lobby game I dominated, breaking down every decision I made with some tips and tricks to help you guys climb the ranks as Spidey. If you guys want more content like this, be sure to subscribe and let me know down below. Right, let's do this.
So, first thing to notice, straight off the bat, with my team comp, I got a solo tanking Penny, Mr. Fantastic, Psylocke, Luna, and Sue. This is a weird ass comp to start with. So, I'm going to basically have to be on my own here and see what we can come up with. See what pain points we can like abuse essentially. We do have Luna's Snowflake on, so that's something you got to keep in mind. So we can actually play a bit more aggressive if we wanted to. We're still going to be playing around health packs quite a lot, but that's always good to know. So first off, I'm swinging in. I like to swing by over here so I get a full view of like here. You get to see where enemies are holding, if anyone's holding up there, if anyone's holding over here. I get to see a good view of the enemy team's positioning. So as you can see, they're playing quite passively. So we're going to take high ground. High ground is king, right? If you're on high ground, you have such a big advantage. So you want to make sure somebody who has verticality, like Spiderman does, who can swing up. Even someone like Strange, you know, somebody who can actually contest the high ground. You want to be contesting high ground constantly, and you want to be controlling high ground if you can. So, unfortunately, Starlord glitched up there. Didn't manage to get the pick on him. But we're able to, they're giving us up quite a bit of space here. So we're going into the back line, seeing if anybody's playing any defensively, anyone playing out of line. We did manage to get, as you can see, the tag on Luna there. Healed up real quick because we know Psylocke's up there. And because we know Psylocke is up there, and Psylocke is marking us, we entered in, went on the Luna, and we immediately went out. You see, I didn't commit to the overhead slam. The reason I didn't is because Psylocke was marking us already. She isn't right now, but also look at that. There's 3 people here. The chances of me killing them, killing Luna, very, very low. Luna also has her cooldowns, so she can freeze me. She can also just pop her freeze or even pop her clap, and both of those will self-heal her, so there's no point in committing. Also, Cloak obviously has her bubble, so I can't kill through that. There's a lot of reasons why I can't be committing to fights this early. So, go in, and once again, immediately after that, contest high ground. Right there, I attempted to do the over-upper combo. One of the combos I would recommend learning is the over-upper combo, which is a cluster, overhead slam, cluster, uppercut. If I landed the cluster there and got the uppercut, that kills 300 HP targets. I think it does more than 300 damage, actually. But the fact that it does 300 damage, very, 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 very good to know, because you can take out so many people, especially if they're caught off guard like that. If you saw how I entered the fight here, from up top, slam. See, if I got the cluster off there, Psylocke is probably dead. Now, Starlord, you can't really 1v1, so you want to be safe, because as you can see, Starlord will screw you over. He has multiple ways of screwing you over. I did get caught in the Groot wall, so we're going to ignore that part. The fact that Starlord has his E, which means he can hit us without aiming. As Spider-Man, a lot of your survivability comes from your movement and how evasive you can be in your timing. Obviously, if somebody has auto aim, which is why Namor is kind of as a good counter against him, why Penny's mines can be really annoying to play into, you know, things like that. Auto aim stuff, Wando can be really annoying to play into, or Scarlet Witch, I say. These kind of characters have an advantage on Spider-Man because this movement doesn't mean anything. Another thing is Starlord has his flips, which means he can fully negate the damage you try to do when you go on him and go for the uppercut. It's very easy to telegraph. Swinging back in. Going for the backline again. Trying to force cooldowns here. Unfortunately, my aim is abysmal. I'm still trying to commit, but I'm not going to commit too hard. As you can see, I went for the uppercut, and now I'm out again. Trying to follow in with my Psylocke's dives. And see, even though I have my get over here down, I'm still going in for zipped uppercuts into a safe location. You see, I managed to zip onto here, uppercut, and now I'm onto high ground, and nobody can hit me. Obviously, for some reason, Sue is on the payload, but I'm still safe up here. Now, we saw their backline there. They popped Sue ult. We can try and go for somebody outside of the Sue ult, which I think is what I'm trying to do right now. Try going for the invisible. Unfortunately, I couldn't find her. And there we go. A big, big thing you want to be paying attention to when you're playing Spider-Man, especially on this map, is ledges and where you can pull off, because one cooldown and you can guarantee a kill, especially if you can get a tank off. Tanks are a high priority there, but if you can get supports off, really, really good. Now, Sue is really hard to get because she has her jump, but the Sue didn't have it on cooldown because we just saw her use it over there. So, we were able to take advantage of that.
Before we get into the rest of this game, one of the reasons I'm able to get as sticky as I do is because I'm hooked on Uncle Ben's ashes. And by that, I mean gamer Supps. Spidey requires a ton of focus, so you gotta be locked in at all times, and what better way to satisfy your caffeine addiction with a near 0-calorie drink filled with a totally acceptable supplement that even Aunt May would want to try. With a variety of flavors from titty milk all the way to the immense amount of copium you need to not blame yourself when you go 1 in 10. If you're a friendly neighborhood broke boy, you can order free samples to try. Click the link in the description or use code Tephrite at checkout for 10% off or free shipping. Thank you gamer Supps, now let's get sticky.
We need to reach that nexus point for the sake of all reality.
All right, let's see what we're gonna do here. Lots of ults going out. We can't really commit to anything. We don't want to be in the thick of it there because of the cloak ult. If we're in there doing damage, we're gonna just melt. Once again, we see cloak here, isolated. We're gonna try go for her. One thing to keep in mind, against cloak, if you are able to, let's watch that back again. If you are able to get your get over here off before she shrouds away, as you can see there, you still go to her, and when you hit her, she will come out of the cloak, out of the shroud. Which means this also works for Loki. This also works for Wanda. Something very good to keep in mind, because then you can still finish the kill. It will follow them. So now it's 2 supports down. Luna is ulting, so we're kind of ignoring her.
Don't mess with the amazing Spiderman.
I'd argue maybe not the greatest ult, but I think actually, yeah, maybe not the greatest ult. But the reason I did this is because here, Star's gonna flip my combo. He actually doesn't, and we're able to get the kill. And because we saw Psylocke on point, Psylocke is now 1 HP because of the uppercut. And this is a very easy kill to finish off. We waited for her to fly back down. Aim for the center, which is somewhere over here. She goes back to it, and we kill her. Psylocke always returns to the center for ult, so you always want to make sure you're going back to there. And once again, playing us to the edge. Hey, sometimes even we blunder. Sometimes even the greatest blunder, alright? Moving on. Moving on. Back to the fight. Once again, we're still focusing the strategist. The best target again on this team to focus has to be the strategist. Obviously, Doctor Strange is a tank. You don't want to be focusing tanks. Star-Lord can negate your entire combo with a right click, with a flip. Psylocke can actually, well, first off, secondary fire gives her shields. But also, she has enough damage to kill you. And also, she has 2 escapes and a stealth. So, all 3 of those, very, very hard to duel. So, which means you're going to be going for the strategist. Now, which strategist is hard to say. Because all 3 of these strategists technically have a way to get rid of you. Obviously, Sue can push you. She can also go invisible. Loki can also go invisible too. But also can have put down his runes, make him invulnerable. He can also TP, and Luna has her freeze and also has her passive healing. Realistically, you want to see who's isolated and try and force out cooldowns and then commit to the fight. One thing you saw me try do here is something you should also be very, very aware of. Unfortunately, I missed it, but it's something I do quite a lot. You see here the Strange. This is a telegraphed move right here. If you see a Strange randomly fly up into the sky, 9 times, like into your team, 9 times out of 10, he is going for an ultimate. Now, this also happens when there's Strange portaling on your team. You want to try and be aware of when Strange has ultimate, because you can use your get over here to cancel it. Unfortunately, I just about missed it. Damn, that's really freaking close, dude. Yeah, I just about missed it. Otherwise, I would have canceled the Strange ult here. Now, since I missed it, another thing I like to do though, two ways I like doing this. I like to zip into him and then uppercut him so that he's unable to land a left click or land a primary fire and land a melee. We can also get him out of range of his E, because then his explosion is circular, so it has a higher chance of missing people. If I have Venom, I will uppercut and then Venom bounce him away, because then I'll put him even higher. But obviously I don't have Venom here, so I just went for the uppercut. And I think I'm gonna go for another pull here. I tried dodge the freeze that I learned from last time. Unfortunately, I do miss the hook, but we cap anyways. And now we want to try and follow our team in and go for the cleanup kills. Now these are extremely important kills to get. This is a fight where you have the advantage. Everybody, they're on the run. You have the numbers advantage and you want to be wiping them, because if you start staggering them, it's going to take longer for them to come back and fight as a full 6. Right there, I actually pulled the Star-Lord back. Instead of going into him, I pulled him back into Psylocke's ult. This is something I do a lot. I kind of like memed with him there, but it's something I do a lot with Psylocke, with Moon Knight. with these really like AoE ults, where they're just placed down, you pull them into the ult, and then the ult gets more value because obviously the ult does a ton more damage. And I just finished him off there. Now, as we know, there's just Psylocke there, but Psylocke is hard to 1v1, so I don't think I commit to this fight until maybe later. I do have Luna E back on. Luna Snow, back Luna Snowflake. Now, a big thing I'm trying to do here is I'm not going to be committing to fights, but I'm going to try and force cooldowns. That's how I'm meant to be playing this fight. There you go. I force a cooldown, or there you go. I force runes, do my combo, and I immediately zip out. We're kind of trying to keep pressure here, so we're getting push on the payload. I believe, is somebody on it? Yes, there's Penny on it, on the payload. And now we're just trying to keep pressure up here. I'm trying to stay back. As you can see, what I just tried to do there is I'm trying to stay away from the rest of their team. And I tried to pull Strange into me. If I'm able to pull Strange into me here, he's very vulnerable because his healers are all over here and they cannot see him over here. So I'm pulling them out of line of sight, making sure that we can get as much damage done as possible. At the very least, we get him down to half HP or something. And I'm scared to push up because he doesn't have enough HP and he has to wait till he gets his health back. Once again, Star-Lord, not a good character to 1v1, so I'm just running away as soon as I can. A good thing to note is when you're on attack, the payload does heal you if you stand next to it. So if the supports aren't healing you, there's no health packs, stand next to the payload and you'll get healed.
Next stop, the Shrine of the Weaver. Oh boy.
Alright, so this map, this part of the map, second point is super, super good for Spider-Man. You just only got to pull, get a pull off the map on the first point. This map, this part of the map, sorry, is even easier to get the pulls off because of this area right here. It's so easy to just hop, pull, hop back on. Because right over here, they have to contest the payload here. The slightest amount of their body that they show to you here is going to be an easy way to just slide them off the map. So, let's see what I do here. There we go. Now, Strange is a good target, but not a great target because he has his flight. His flight can be on cooldown. Sometimes it takes them too long to realize if they can use it or not. The best target probably to do this to would be either to Loki or to Luna, because Psylocke has her dash, Sue has her jump, obviously Strange has his flight, and also Star-Lord has his flight. So these two targets probably would have been the best. Loki is a bit riskier because he could TP if he has the reaction time. Luna cannot. If there's a Groot or somebody without any mobility, like a Penny, 100% target them. Targeting the tanks for pulling off the map is super, super high value because that's a big, large health pool that you're just eradicating from the team. Now, also, you can see I'm at 73 ult charge here, 73% ult charge. Pulling Strange a full HP off the map, immediate 20% ult charge. It's super, super good for building ult. And now I see runes popped. I'm going to try and probably go for a right click, wait for the runes to go down, zip in. As you can see, they're very, very clustered here, and ult. That's probably what I'm going to try to do. Now, unfortunately, that was a clone. If that wasn't a clone, I probably would have ulted. Actually, I did ult. Never mind. I did ult and I died, unfortunately. I don't know how my health... Let's see what happens to my health here. Okay, I just got bursted down. Unfortunate. But that's the idea, right? Everybody's grouped up. You force their cooldowns that can counter your ultimate, and then you just get a free ultimate. Back in the fight. Once again, we're playing next to the edge, trying to see if we can pull Strange off. Possibly. We go for it, but we miss, unfortunately. And now it's a bit weird. There's Star-Lord ulting in the sky, so we're not going to go too aggressive. We're just going to play in the invis ult. Play it safe. There's no point. We can try and see if we can maybe pull him in. Sometimes I like to pull Star-Lords into the ultimate with me, because if they're closer to my team, A, I can do more damage to them, and B, it's easier for my team to do damage to them. Unfortunate there. I tried to go for a little pull, a little swing, and unfortunately, Sue pushed us off the map. So there we go. You can see how important environmental kills are, because that right there just wins them the fight. Right. Swinging straight into the back line. My target is Loki to try and force Lamp. There we go. And now we get out. As you can see, I went in quite early. It can be a bit risky to go in early, but if you're able to force out a cooldown and get out safely, if you think you can do it, I would recommend doing it, because now a big counter or a big ability it's just been eradicated, right? You can do that sometimes to force cooldowns for your team to ult. Like, for example, if Psylocke had ult, great time to force runes. You know, Star-Lord has ults. Great time to force runes. You know, anything really. Any ultimate, if you can try and force a cooldown, great. A big part about playing Spider-Man is trying to force cooldowns from the enemy team that they don't want to use and they want to save for something else, but they have to use it or they're gonna die. Now, this was really messy. I would have got it. I think I almost got it properly. This is the drive-by technique that I talk about a lot. So, get a cluster off. I zip to the floor and uppercut them. As you can see now, she's on half HP. Get another cluster. Get over here. I should have waited just slightly a bit more so I could then go for the uppercut and I would have killed her. As you can see, she just got a bit more health. And then I finished off with clusters. If I waited a bit more, because there is a 2-second buffer between uppercuts, that would have been perfect. Once again, trying to force cooldowns. We forced runes and we forced Sue's jump. We're now currently up 2. Trying to go for a pull here. A bit risky, We don't manage to get it though. Obviously, if you're going for pulls, I love doing that combo on people in the air, on Strange especially. But yeah, if you're going for pulls, you got to keep in mind that your get over here then is not going to be on cooldown at all. It's going to be on cooldown, sorry, all the time. Which means you're going to be using your swings. Now, this right here is a bit risky because I'm going in without any swings left. So if I don't get any get over here, I could be dead. If Psylocke looked at me here, I'm dead. I used my uppercut there to be a bit more evasive, to buy myself more time to swing out, and I managed to get out. Now we're just gonna be waiting. Maybe go for a pull here. We managed to get a pull on Strange. Somehow my entire health disappeared. But honestly, worth it because we get back faster. Spider-Man, it's a big thing. Spider-Man gets back to the fight really, really quick, faster than any other character in the game. So if you're able to get a trade, it's super, super worth it. Now that right there is a combo I like to do a lot. Nothing crazy. It's literally just a cluster to get over here, uppercut, and as soon as the uppercut goes off, you can see literally the frame the damage comes off. I immediately use my ultimate.
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man.
Now, unfortunately, Psylocke got out literally with 1 HP, and we get Loki. Either way, still a good pick.
Put some pep in my step.
Let's see what we do here.
I'm ready to put on a show.
Since Luna's ulting, the best thing you can do when Luna's ulting is to try and go for pulls off the map. Because obviously nobody's going to die within the ultimate. So the best thing you can do is just try and pull them off the map. As you saw there, I went for the uppercut thing, similar to what I said earlier about the Strange ult. I managed to pull him off the map there. Help with Sue. Unfortunately, I don't get the ult charge there, but it's fine. Now, going in for drive-bys still consistently. There's that over-upper combo I talked about. Now the reason, there we go, I'm targeting the Luna here. Even though I got the Tracer on Sue, I want to target the Luna, but this is a big thing. Something you need to be aware of all the time as Spider-Man is if you're going up against an enemy Strange, actually not even if you're going up against an enemy Strange, is Portal. TP is basically a second ultimate for Strange. A lot of the time, in overtime or in lost fights, the enemy team, somebody, even if it's a tank, if it's a DPS, or if it's a support, and somebody on the team will swap to Strange. Once you get to a higher rank, somebody will swap to Strange. You need to be paying attention to when that happens, and you need to be listening out for the I'm opening a portal. Sometimes you need to be even more aware because this team had Strange already. So I already know it's overtime. I don't need to go for kills right now. I need to go for the Strange portal. #1 priority. So as you can see, I'm now saying, I heard it. I'm opening a portal. I ignore the Luna. Immediately go for him because you can use your get over here and cancel the pull right there. I'm trying to play it safe here, not get too low on the ground. I think I went into a bit too aggressive there. Ooh, no, we got out. Okay. I've got no swings. I'm probably gonna go for a health back here. No, I do get healed. Nice. Little bread and butter combo there. All right, there we go. There we go. Once again, we're going for stragglers. That's the bread and butter combo right there. Beautifully executed. I'll go through that really slowly. This is a combo I also suggest you learn. Which is basically cluster, get over here, uppercut. Well, after you do your uppercut, you do this thing called a zip cancel, which allows you to cancel the uppercut animation and then get a cluster out immediately. And then that will also give you a free overhead. Now, I didn't need to do a double jump. The reason I did a double jump there was to try and avoid the shots from the Psylocke. And I get the overhead damage. And that seals the deal right there.
And armor. Cool.
And I get out. Okay, let's see what we're doing here. This third point, once again, is a ledge. So we can actually pull people off. This one's a bit harder to pull off. But we'll see. Let's see if we manage to get anything going off here. I'm still playing next to it. I'm seeing them playing next to it too, so I want to try and see if I can get any hooks off. I do manage to hook Psylocke. Unfortunately, I might be able to get the kill. That's massive there. Okay, I've got my ultimate. What am I looking for here? I'm going to look for things to counter my ultimate. Now, that could be Invisible Woman's push. That could be, you know, runes. That could be freeze. Let's see what we're going to go for here. Loki's runes don't necessarily counter your ultimate purely because your ultimate targets the runes. So if you're doing damage, if you're gonna be ulting and they pop runes, you're going to still be able to kill through the runes. A lot of Lokis will rune early. If they rune late, first they have a risk of getting stunned before they're able to rune and they die. Second, they have a risk of just dying. Third, if they do rune late, just in time, that is probably the perfect time, but you can still kill them, then finishing them off with a cluster uppercut afterwards. But it can prolong their survivability. Now here I'm trying to force runes. I realize he's just not going to press it until I ult, so I ult anyways. There you go. As you can see, even though he popped his runes, and he popped it late too, I was able to stun him. To be honest, what I should have done here is clustered both of these characters before going for the uppercut. And then I would have killed both Luna and Loki. And of course, I'm in there for too long because of that, and I die. Once again, I'm playing by the ledge, see if I can pull anybody off. If I manage to pull Mag off, that's huge. Unfortunately, Mag can float, so it's a bit tough to pull him off the map. This is I'm going to be trying using the tank busting combo here. And immediately kill him. So, when you're going up against tanks, you're trying to 1v1 tanks. Always apply a cluster, overhead, cluster, overhead, cluster, uppercut. Always cycle between them. This is also before the cluster change, the cluster buff this game. The only time I would also suggest or recommend going for Psylocke, unless they're low, is if you have Venom. If you have Venom, you can actually one-shot Psylocke. So a big thing about this game is the bans also. You probably are wondering, why aren't they swapping to Namor? Why aren't they swapping to Bucky? I ban Namor every game. And I think nowadays, well, first off in this meta right now, in season 1.5, Namor is one of the best characters in the game. If your team sees you hovering Spider-Man, 9 times out of 10, they will ban Namor second. Always ban Namor second, never ban Namor first. Because if you ban Namor first, it'll give the enemy team a hint that you are going to be playing a dive character. Whether that is Black Panther, Spider-Man, Magic. You can play over here and try to get the environmental kill here if you want to. But I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. Because players now are getting smarter and they're going to be looking for it. Sometimes you can, if you're like, you know, if you're below Diamond, probably you can still get these off. I have managed to get them off in Celestial games still. But it's very, very risky. Because I know a lot of people, especially if you start out on attack and then you have to go into defense the second half. Most good players now will either come out of this door over here, or they will just turn left and expect you to be there. Now, we see the Psylocke. We don't really necessarily want to 1v1 her. We're going to try and see if we can catch her off guard. And that is exactly why. I mean, I do get hit by Hela, but even if Hela wasn't there, I probably would have died. But now I'm aware of the Hela. Too aggressive. Never 1v1 the Psylocke. I don't even know why I tried to be honest. Oh, a bit of autopilot there, and here we go. Here's the rollout. That's actually what it's meant to look like right there. Now, as you can see here, I'm waiting in the back line. I'm trying to see if I can catch any stragglers. Sometimes people just wait over here, and they just like try pew 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 pew. And if they're over here, like Hela is, I think we heard Hela somewhere here. Oh, that's Loki, never mind. If there's someone over here just waiting, like a Punisher turret or something, the supports rarely ever look back this far if they're pushed up here. So this is a free kill. But since nobody's here, we're just gonna go for a cluster, probably a zip in and uppercut. Fortunately, love how Get Over Here interacts with everything in the game, and we don't end up hitting the Get Over Here, but it's fine. Right here, I'm just fumbling, unfortunately. A big thing right there, that kind of messed me up here. This panic zip, when you're panic zipping, always make sure you're swinging up. You're aiming above yourself, because that will happen. What I wanted to do was swing. I did not want to zip, but now I've wasted a web, and I'm stuck here now.
Put some pep in my step.
We're still trying to put pressure on the supports, but now that Psylocke's looking at me, we backed out. If you can, get healed from your supports because it gives your supports ult charge. If not, go for health packs. Just see how much pressure the rest of your team is taking, and if your supports have the capacity to heal you there. Similar thing. Go into the back line, do some damage, get out. Unfortunately, I flew right into the auto aim from Star-Lord, so that was a bit unfortunate. Probably my routing was a bit bad. I also missed my first swing, unfortunately, so that can suck. Okay, now there is an edge to the map here. You don't even want to be going for pulls unless they're really like towards the edge and they can't come back off. Those are pretty funny pulls to get, but otherwise I wouldn't bother too much. You can do a little uppercut thing here where you can like drive by this and you can try and like pull somebody from here all the way off. But I would recommend you practice that. Right. High ground. As you can see, we haven't been punished too much from going into their team, into their backline. So we can just keep doing it. It's working. Why change it, right? If it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of vibe. That was kind of lucky that I webbed him whilst he was invisible. But still, we're not trying to be in there for too long. Yeah, continue. We are at the edge here. Penny can't really get back onto point. As you can see, I'm trying to go for pulls. I think I might pull the Psylocke off. Almost. I do miss. Play in the cloak ult though. If you have a cloak ult or a Luna ult or something like that, it is a perfect place, a perfect time to just farm your ultimate. Just farm overheads, farm uppercuts, see what you can get.
I got your back.
Very messy there, but we still managed to get the kill. Very questionable ult from the Hela. I'm like, I can't really kill her because I'm I'm Spider-Man. But yeah. Now they choose to go Spider-Man. Now here's the notorious Spider-Man 1v1. First off, if you want tips on how to play against Spider-Man, or how to 1v1 any character, I do have a tips video out. So if you guys want to go and watch that, see how you 1v1 Spider-Man, I would recommend. Usually the way it works is first cluster wins. So either you hit the tracer first, or you play around a pillar, or do both. I'd recommend doing both. Fortunately, started ults. Okay, so we're just gonna play it safe. I'm playing next to cover here, so he doesn't hit me. We do have ults going off, and this is where I can actually go aggressive. I'm going for the Spider-Man. So, at the very least, I'm missing everything here. If you don't manage to land first, if you manage to land first cluster, if you can get a second cluster off, I would highly recommend it, because in the damage you can get. So it's 3 clusters. 1 get over here and 1 uppercut is enough to kill Spider-Man. If you manage to get 2 clusters early, then you use the get over here, the uppercut. Those are guaranteed. Unless obviously he's behind a pillar. Then all you have to do is land 1 cluster. And that cluster is usually going to come out whilst he's sort of immobile and stunned from the uppercut. So if you're able to get the 2 clusters before instead of after, I would highly recommend it. Obviously be aware that cluster has damage drop off. Now, what you can do, try and use get over here whilst he's engaging on you. I don't do it too much, but I still recommend it. A lot of things I like to do also, you saw me do it there, unfortunately the character didn't die, is if they're too far away, you literally just zip somewhere close, and you're able to use your get over here to flick to them. I do this a lot against Hawkeyes, against Hellas, because your movement is very predictable, and you need to be more evasive. Because obviously get over here is just a straight line. If you're able to zip to the side first, if you cancel your zip, if you use a get over here mid-zip, your momentum still like flings, so you don't actually go like a zigzag, you sort of like curve. So it's even harder to track. It's like a really weird like bell curve.
Put some pep in my step.
Now, obviously, looking at my team, nobody can shoot Spider-Man out of the sky except me, technically. I mean, Penny's not really going to try it. Mr. Fantastic isn't going to try it. Mr. Fantastic is going to play a counter dive, though, so it's going to make it a bit hard for him to secure kills. But I can actually be the one to kill him here. Now, there, I did it again. Now, big thing here.
Amazing Spider-Man!
Big ult. So, why did I choose to ult here? Couple things. One, Hulk wasn't there, so nothing could have stopped me. Besides, Luna's freeze. But the way I entered, first off, Luna didn't know I was there until it's too late. And look at my bounce. Look at my trajectory. You see, I bounced over the snowball. You see that? That is intentional right there. That is intentional. The reason I use my ultimate right as I'm uppercutting is because it gives you that arc. Right? If you're not just going up and then just like swinging around, it gives you an arc, and that arc is super important because you also jump from when you ult. So you uppercut, you get to a certain height, and then the ult also pushes you up a bit. So because of that, I was able to double jump essentially over the Luna freeze and kill all three. And I think I bullied the Strange quite a bit.
Crack the whip!
Yeah, okay. So, this part was pretty funny. This is also a thing you can do. You can definitely bully tanks. Against Strange, though, you need to be aware. You need to be aware of his charge. You need to sort of keep a mental check of how much damage he's getting out. Obviously, Strange just came back from spawn, so his charge is 0. His dark magic is 0. He just used his explosion there, so now it's free game. Strange cannot kill me, or it's going to be very hard for him to kill me for another, like, 8 seconds or so. Another thing I like to do is I pay attention to how the player's playing and see how aggressive they play, how much they rely on their shield. And because of that, I can get a feel for when they're going to be putting their shield down. So literally the millisecond over there, you saw the millisecond their shield goes down, I'm already predicting it's going to go down, and I go for the pull. Right there. Once again, going for overheads. I try to get behind him because of the shield's going to block my cluster. But overhead and uppercut go through the shields.
Pretty sure those are bad guys.
I'm going to chase him here. I got a cluster on him. That combo also works really well. That's just a bread and butter combo. You know, you get the cluster on him. So I'm chasing him. Get over here. Uppercut. Get the cluster on him again from the cluster cancel, and then the overhead. You honestly don't even need the cluster cancel. You can just do the overhead because Spidey's 250 HP. But you could also just get a second cluster after that. I think I'm typing to the Strange there because he's telling me to leave him alone. And that's it. That's the game right there. So hopefully that's given you some more insight, some tips, some tricks on how I approach Spider-Man. This was early on in the season, I believe. I think the highest rank at the time was like Celestial 2. So this was quite a high elo game, I feel like. So yeah, if you have any questions, be sure to leave them down below. Or come to my Twitch chat. This is all streamed live on my Twitch, as you can see my chat's underneath there. And you can ask me in chat. I'll be happy to help. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Peace.